If you're sitting in the back seat of a car traveling down the street, are you in motion? Although you're not moving your legs, you and the car are both in motion. Motion is defined as a change in location that is relative to other objects. As you travel down the road, you see buildings, houses, and signs pass by. Because your location is changing relative to those objects, you are in motion. Distance is the measurable space between objects. If you were to measure the space between you and any object, that measurement is the distance. To find the distance between two objects, you can use the equation distance equals speed multiplied by time. This means you can determine the distance between two locations if you know the time traveled and the speed traveled. Look at this example. Suppose you drove a car for 2 hours at a speed of 45 miles per hour. What distance have you traveled? You know that distance is equal to speed multiplied by time. Looking at this example, you know the speed was 45 miles per hour and the time was 2 hours. Therefore, you can multiply these two numbers to solve for distance. You traveled a distance of 90 miles. Speed refers to how fast something moves. In more technical terms, speed is the distance an object travels per unit of time. You can calculate speed if you know the distance something traveled in a set amount of time. This makes it relatively easy to solve the equation for speed. Speed is equal to distance divided by time. If you ran 8 miles in 2 hours and wanted to know your speed, you could determine it by dividing your total distance by the amount of time it took you to run. Running 8 miles in 2 hours means you ran at a speed of 4 miles per hour. To fully understand an object's speed, you must also understand its velocity and acceleration. Velocity is speed in a specific direction. Speed simply tells you how fast something is moving. Because velocity includes the direction of the movement, it is a more complete description than speed alone. Acceleration is the change in speed over time. In simple terms, acceleration refers to speeding up and slowing down. Think about when a car first starts. As the engine gains power, the car goes from traveling a few miles per hour to upwards of 40 or 50 miles per hour. This change in speed is acceleration. You can use this equation to calculate acceleration. Acceleration equals final speed minus initial speed divided by time. Imagine a roller coaster as an example. A roller coaster train initially moves 10 feet per second going uphill. 2 seconds later, the train moves at a rate of 26 feet per second. What is the acceleration of the roller coaster train? The final speed of the roller coaster train was 26 feet per second. The initial speed was 10 feet per second. The total time it took was 2 seconds. 26 minus 10 equals 16. 16 divided by 2 equals 8. The acceleration of the roller coaster train is 8 feet per second squared. All motion is created or stopped by force. Force simply refers to a push or pull. In the case of a car, the force is the engine that powers the wheels forward. Once a force sets an object in motion, you can study that motion by examining distance, speed, velocity, and acceleration.